Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Memes of the Week. The best thing you can do for this channel is beat that like button like it owes you money before watching this, so it reaches a wider audience. Also, before I get on with the memes, first a word from today's sponsor, the MGTOW book collection part 2. Whether you're getting camel toe in Cambodia, banging babes in burqas in Turkey, or taking Polaroids of ladyboys in Thailand, Luca Vendetti has a series of books to make you live the dream. His new 3-booklet series includes How to Live on $500 a Month in Cambodia, Turkey, and Vietnam, in addition to his classic, How to Retire on $200K in Southeast Asia. He also has the MGTOW book. Visit MGTOWbooks.com and use the promo code SANDMAN to get 10% off. Now available in 4 formats, PDF, Mobi for Kindle, EPUB, and text-to-speech MP3. Sponsor link is down below. And now on with the memes. Number 1, this desperate trans woman is pretending like she's the victim because she went on a date with a guy, and when he found out that she was trans, he called an Uber and left. It's his body, his choice. He's free to do whatever he wants. That goes for both of them. But she's lucky that he didn't do anything far worse. Lying about your gender to get dates should be illegal. Also, as a former male, maybe she should have actually paid for his Uber. Up next, meanwhile in Canada, a woman was searching for recipes online and she found a video of herself engaged in spicy activity. What type of recipe was she looking for? How to stuff a turkey, perhaps? But seriously, how is that even possible? Because I didn't even know that corn sites had recipes on them. This is a Canadian article from the Government Broadcasting Corporation. So if you write stupid stories that don't make any sense, you still won't get fired. Number 3, Dane asks, why is the NYC subway a literal poop hole and Tokyo's is immaculate? Is it because of diverse demographics instead of homogeneous culture? Could it also be unenforced laws and liberals ruining the country? But I don't know, because the last time I was in the subway in New York City, it didn't look anything like that. In fact, it looked like the image on the right with an unpolished floor. Moving on, the UK Mirror says that PDF teachers like Rebecca Jones are motivated by loneliness and rejection, says an expert. Why is she lonely? Is it because no Chad wants to be with her because he has better options? I wouldn't be surprised if they started blaming men going their own way for the loneliness epidemic in women. So by default, it's men's fault that female teachers are diddling their students. But the loneliness point is stupid because most of them are already married. Number 5, women and non-binary developers now make up 32% of all game developers. That's up from 24% in 2023. And I'm guessing it'll soon be 50% or more, and the gaming industry will start dying out as sales crater. Exactly what women want. For men to stop playing video games and paying more attention to them. They're making the games as woke as possible as quickly as possible. I wonder what percentage are transformers because it's easier to turn autists into women than it is to turn women into programmers. Up next, here's the look on this woman's face when she finds out that she took medical advice from a guy that got a preemptive presidential pardon. That looks like anxiety in her eyes, and I don't care. Because I tried talking people out of getting it, and they thought I was crazy. There were millions of us shouting from the rooftops not to do it, and yet people around us are all duped. What is she going to do with her Fauci tattoo now that he's been pardoned? Number 7, this woman flew too close to the sun, and fell to the ground and will probably never be seen and heard from ever again. More like she blew too far to the sun. She's the new Matt Jarbo. If she ever pops her head up online again, there'll be armies of haters and critics chasing her away. They'll be posting tons of negative comments, and rightfully so, as she literally wrecked people's lives by stealing their life savings. Her only hope is to successfully pin the blame on somebody else for her poop coin. Moving on, meet Sophia Gaskin, the first openly trans actor to be nominated for an Oscar. Does that mean that victory is guaranteed? Where's the Polymarket link? Let's all go try and make some money. Even though woke is dying, they're still pushing this sort of nonsense. I'm also sure that right now leftists are trying to decide which is true. If the term actress is bigoted, or if a trans actress should win an award. Decisions. Number 9, is this an effective way to get men to slow down at a construction site? Not unless you want to cause car accidents as well. Then again, some illegal migrant might have an accident by rear-ending her, if you know what I mean. Today many flaggers are women. But back in the day, it was guys that had labored for 30 years in the sun and couldn't lift heavy objects anymore. Today, the old men were fired and construction companies hire female flaggers with zero experience, then haven't paid their dues. Up next, here's Skeletor when he comes to the realization that they're no longer MILFs and just chicks his own age. I don't know about you guys, but calling them chicks in their late 30s and 40s is dumb. I'm not even attracted to women over 40. Before you know it, Skeletor will be saying they aren't gilfs and just geriatrics his own age. You either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself transition into a gilf enthusiast. Number 11, here I thought that America was a free country. And meanwhile, Lily Phillips is threatened with being deported after she filmed herself sleeping with 1,000 men. But is this a unique skill that qualifies her for an H-1B visa? Does this mean that morality is returning back to America, or is it just the Karens are trying to control what people are doing in their bedrooms? She was probably on a tourist visa, not a work visa, while she was doing her hard labor. Meanwhile, in London, England, 1 in 12 people living there are illegal migrants. 600,000 residents have no right to be in the United Kingdom. Those are rookie numbers, though. They've got to get those up because soon 1 in 8 Canadians will be illegal as of December 2025, if they don't leave. This is probably the reason why the UK, Canada, and Australia started mass disarmament in the 1990s, to make sure that the regular people didn't rebel against the brown foreign PDF files when they finally got here, or rebel against the government that allowed it. Number 13, what would you do if you were this guy and your wife passed away? And then you found out that the 2 kids you had together through a DNA test were not yours. Would you drop them off at the nearest fire department's doorstep? I would try and find the real dad and pawn them off to him. If he doesn't want them, then at least get child support for those kids before putting them up for adoption. But if you don't keep them yourself, then you're a monster. This is a no-win scenario. Up next, the Martin Luther King files were declassified, and he's gay. MLK held workshops for ministers, and one minister says that behind the scenes they would drink and fornicate, and that there were also homosexual activities at one conference, and that the minister was disgusted by this. The same happened at another event in 1964, where all kinds of unnatural sex acts happened. Here's a photo of MLK, obviously AI generated, as a reenactment for what happened. Number 15, panic ensues as transgender inmates are ordered to be sent packing to men's prisons by Trump. But not to worry, as I'm sure they'll be very popular there. But why should they be panicking though? I'm sure they'll provide protection from some giant Chad Roan in exchange for use of their poop shoots. The real reason they're panicking is because they're going to be going from predators in the women's prisons to prey in the men's real fast. Moving on, a girl shoots her boyfriend in the chest 23 times for liking another girl's Instagram post. Tell me you're a jealous nutcase without telling me. And you're also probably wondering if he survived. Of course he did. It was just a minor flesh wound. If you think he survived after she turned him into human Swiss cheese sushi, you're a moron. And even with all that, a lot of guys are probably going to say to themselves, I can fix her. Number 17, Trump has kept his word and has been deporting people. These guys were on their way to Colombia and their own government didn't want them. So Trump threatened tariffs, and the president of Colombia got so freaked out that he apparently sent his own presidential plane to pick up his citizens. I agree with Trump's deportations, but I don't agree with his trade war with Canada and Mexico. Hopefully by the time I post this, all that nonsense will be over. Up next, a man who's dating both his mother and daughter releases a video of their time together. By the looks of it, it looks like we're due for another flood. But I'm also glad to see this guy's a real family man. Say what you will, but I believe that white liberal women will be the death of Western civilization. It doesn't get much more Weimar than this. I hope they just aren't sitting around and talking in their video. I might be naive for thinking that, but this fortunately is fake, and they are just corn stars. Number 19 looks like a big thing is happening. But what I want to know is if that's a Latina behind those people. Sure looks like the average Brazilian woman to me, from behind. Either that or Kim Kardashian is finally donating her liposuction contents as insulation material. Another possibility is that this could actually be a giant version of RoboCop leaning over to pick up his weapon. Moving on, Kimberly says that a black woman marrying a white man is not the same as a black man marrying a white woman. Why is she saying this though? I suspect because she wants it to be socially acceptable for black women to access both white dudes and black dudes. But she doesn't want it to be socially acceptable for black guys to be with white women. The double standards will never cease to amaze me. Women want every advantage they can get when it comes to options and finding men. Number 21, Kachi says, so basically companies pay YouTube to show their ads. And then we have to pay YouTube to not show those ads. That's the way it goes. But if you download the Brave browser, then you don't actually have to watch ads, and nor do you have to pay to remove them. The internet and especially YouTube are unusable without an ad blocker. I'm encouraging this even though my income is tied to YouTube ads. The worst is when there's ads in your music playlists. Up next, here's the Oscar nominee for Best Actress in 2024. But this is a heavily filtered picture, and this is what they look like today. If you're a man that can succeed at something, then you can always change your gender and try again. This individual appears to have gone from a really poor Johnny Depp impersonation to a really awful, misjudged impersonation of a woman. It's crazy how they used to look more feminine when they identified as male. Number 23, this woman says, "Guys, if she sleeps with you on a first date, it's not because she's easy and doesn't respect herself, but because you're easy and don't respect yourself. In reality, the reason she sleeps with you on a first date is because she sees that you're a high-value male, and she wants to try and use her cooch to get you to catch feelings for her and commit. This woman is spinning this to make herself look like she's not a slut while actually acting like one." Moving on, did you know that Jamaican women have the highest rates of paternity fraud, with 62% of babies having the wrong father? What's really shocking is that no one is shocked by this. There was a story 5 years ago where a guy had 5 kids with a woman in Jamaica and found out through DNA tests that none of them were his. He ended up going postal and removing the soccer ball on top of her head. I also read that Nigeria is up around there with those numbers with the same paternity fraud issues. Also, the average Jamaican woman looks nothing like this. This is too idealized. Number 25, what the hell happened to Cher? Doesn't she age or something? Maybe it's millions of dollars worth of makeup and surgery. Or is it the adrenochrome and baby blood? It's all just Photoshop though, because here's what she really looks like. She's not a vampire after all, and if I saw her on the street today, I wouldn't even be able to recognize her. Still not bad for being 78. Here she is in 1975. Somehow she still keeps it together. So that's it for another Memes of the Week. Please give this video a like to push it up in the algorithm, and so new viewers can find it. If you enjoyed this series and want me to keep making it, then donate at the PayPal and Subscribe Star links. Anyways, enjoy the rest of your day, and cheers.